Hi there. Well, once again I have to do a video. This is again a match from last weekend. This one is Friday night, and I'm not sure why I posted this. I don't feel like I played really well.
I've got the orb.
It was very hard fought, and a lot of people in it. There goes we got one red headed off toward the tank node. You can see the tank node is turning red. I'm not sure why I'm standing still here. Apparently I'm having some kind of discussion.
Grab your orb.
Okay, well now I'm starting to play
Defend
anyway.
the center node.
I can see the orb headed off towards center. Got a couple vehicles headed towards center. We got people heading off to fight over the tank node a little bit, but blue has the tanks, so they're gonna bring that out of it.
Attack the enemy prime node.
I'm gonna take out. Well, the bender driver ditched a little early. That's gonna leave his vehicle stranded there. And for once, I'm gonna get out and capture that vehicle before it gets shot down. This man is gonna make an attempt. I don't think he's gonna get me. No. I don't feel like I'm doing a whole lot of good in this vehicle, though. I'm a little bit. There's not much going on here yet. When the action really does start, they'll take me down pretty quick. Also, I was pretty dumb about. Here comes another man. Man is shooting up to come in on this vehicle, don't they? Manas aren't real effective on the PAL, I don't think. They have to. The PAL just brings his shield up there, and he can hold up against that mana all day long.
Grab your orb.
And if the mana has to get real close to do any damage to get past that shield. He's up there, and once he gets up there, the mana can kill him, or the paladin can kill him. So it's tough to kill him. There's a dude. Okay. There's another mana. This one might get. No, I got a mana. Oh yeah, that one got me. Had the mana and the scorpion. And there's the same scorpion. That's Captain Scorpion. I downloaded and looked at the. I downloaded the alpha of the new Unreal Tournament. It looks pretty neat. I managed to get my weapon switching my weapon switching game line working in it. Although it doesn't work quite exactly the same as it does in this game. And, in the alpha, I basically just copied the bind for that. And all it is I got it set up to where if I move it, when I roll the mouse wheel forward, it's like best weapon. You know, you got the weapon ranking. You set up your weapon ranking, and then you hit the best weapon button, and it gives you whatever weapon you have that scores the highest on that list. You know, so it's your best weapon button. Well, you can have the thing is you can have more than one best weapon button, and I use two of them actually. And basically I've got one keybind that basically ranks all the weapons in the game in terms of how good they are for short range fighting. And then I bind that to scroll up, I think it is. So if I need something if I need a short range weapon, I hit scroll up, and that gives me the best weapon I have for shooting short range. And then the other list is all the weapons in the game ranked by how good they are for long range, and I bind that to the back to the mouse down button, or the other mouse. I roll the wheel the other way, and I get the weapon that I have that's best for long range. And I really like that. It allows me to. It saved me many times, I think. Because that's a problem I've always had with this kind of game right from the beginning. Is you have to do stuff fast, and you're constantly with all these weapons you have available. You're constantly having to switch them around and stuff. And if you've got like one button, the one button switches you to that. Usually the default is like the one button gives you the enforcer, the two button gives you something else, the three button gives you something else, and I can type by touch, but I don't really want to take my fingers off the keys to go hunting for the 2 button or the 5 button, or try to remember exactly which weapon is hooked up to the 5 button. It's like, I need the link gun. Now, which button was that hooked up to? I don't remember. by the time I've gotten through that chain of thought, I'm already dead, you know. Whereas, well, actually, I do have a few dedicated buttons, you know, because some weapons, you know, if you just use those, if you just use the two best weapon list, you know, for short range and long range, if you just use that all the time, well, there's certain weapons that you'll never get, you know, because they're not really the best for long range or the short range. You could keep making more lists like that, but actually I just have a few dedicated buttons for weapons that I just happen to need, you know, a lot. You know, like the link gun. The link gun has its own button, you know, because you use the link gun a lot, you know, and not mainly for healing vehicles and stuff, you know. The link button has its own button, the rockets have their own button, the flak cannons has its own button. There's one or two others I think that I do like that. The Abril has its own button. Oh yeah, definitely the Abril has its own button. Yeah. And the nuke, I think now, with since the last patch they put on this game, the nuke also has the same button as the Abril. You just punch it once for the Abril and punch it again for the nuke, and you got the nuke. You know, that's which is all well and good. I mean, I like things like that. They save a lot of time. You know, that's a big part of this game. You really don't have a lot of time. Well, what's going on? We're pushed back to our prime, and I'm gonna kind of make a career here out of trying to get to the center with this orb. I'm not gonna manage it this time. I'm probably gonna make like the dude took down the center, but there's still people here shooting at me. Let me grab a little more help and go around this way and see if I can. No, they took back that center. I probably should have just went. No. Yeah. That's annoying.
Area down.
Grab your orb.
Yeah, I thought I avoided that scorpion, but I landed on top of him and he still managed to suicide.
Attack the
Oh, there
center
you go.
node.
I have the orb.
Enemy orb carrier down.
I don't usually think about the controls in this game because I set them up a long time ago and I've been with them ever since. That's a big part of any game, really. That's a huge problem with a lot of video games in general. Is there's just too many controls. And how do you map them? How do you map them onto this keyboard that's only got so many buttons on them? And it's worse than that because, you know, your keyboard might have 100 keys. Well, I think it's actually got, I don't know how many.
Attack the center node.
It's probably got 60. Yeah, there's probably 60. Sure, there's 60 buttons on that keyboard. But you've only got 10 fingers. That's the big problem right there. You've only got 10 fingers. Now, if you had 20 or 30 fingers, you could be an ace. You know, you could kill everybody in the world on every video game there ever was if you had 20 fingers. But nobody has that many. You know, that's the problem right there. You have to be some kind of mutant. You know, but if you're like most people and you only have 10 fingers, well, you got to come up with some good way. You got to come up with some way of setting up them controls that's convenient. That's going to give you some kind of utility without you having to hunt all over the keyboard at inopportune moments when shit's happening really fast.
Grab your orb.
And fortunately with this, oh god, I totally screwed that up. I would have felt really awesome if I'd made that suicide. You know, going around, you know, hitting the speed brake and spinning around in a circle and getting the guy on the guy on the other end of the circle. But nah, Paladin shot him right down. I think that Paladin's still over there. Yeah. I'm amazed this tank is still here. I know there's a vehicle. Yeah, there he is. I mean, I knew it was just a matter of time, but unfortunately, it takes more than one. It takes more than one arrow to kill that incoming scorpion. Although if he was charging for a suicide, it would have did more damage. But I guess it wasn't enough. Okay. Chase this guy down. That's probably under over. Thank God for under over. Yeah. I think I found out. You mentioned on a match earlier, like this last weekend. You mentioned that wherever it is he's playing from, his ping's like always 200 or something, which explains a lot actually. Because I've always thought, well, maybe he's just a little uncoordinated, but no, it's because he's got a high ping all the time. That's a huge handicap. In a perfect world, everybody would have a 0 ping, I suppose, but I don't think the law of physics is going to allow that anytime soon. Well, it's looking pretty hopeful. We've got 10 points on it, and we've got most of the map. If we can get their prime down, but I don't think we're going to do it. We do have their prime down. Well, that's nice. We got 80. Well, I don't really want to take this berserk, but there's no vehicles around here to exploit it, and it would be really useful to have up there right about now. But I'm not going to get very far with it. Yeah, see, this is an example where I'm saying I'm not playing. Not at all. Oh well. I should have recorded myself playing Planescape 2. It's hard to get a good recording off of Planescape 2 because I spend a lot of time hanging around with a bunch of people that are standing around, you know, staring at the walls because they don't want to attack.
Grab your orb.
And just for the crazy reason that attacking would be suicide, which it is in that game quite often, unless you've got a pretty good overwhelming force, a whole bunch of people going that way, you know, in a coordinated attack, you really are just kind of committing suicide pretty much. So you get these situations where that's terrible. So you get these situations where everybody's just kind of standing around and they don't want to go forward because they don't want to die, you know, which is a reasonable thing, you know, because they don't have enough people to stage a successful attack. Which is kind of annoying because I always spawn as light infantry, so I want to attack. You know, I don't have anything else to do, you know. If you're light infantry, that's really all you're good for. And you don't have your sniper rifle. You can't stand off from a mile away and try to pick people off. You don't have the, you're not well. I really ought to try some of those other types. You know, I know there's combinations. There's things that make sense. Like a lot of times, I don't like to spawn tanks and shit like that, but really a good thing to do would be to spawn as an engineer and then spawn a tank and drive around with the tank, and since you're an engineer, whenever you take damage you can just back off and heal your tank and take off again. And quite often that's what I see a lot of people doing that. I mean, you know, if you jump into a tank and take a ride as a second gunner or something like that, quite often you'll find that the pilot is an engineer, and that's really what he's doing. Driving around, taking a few shots, and then backing off and healing himself, and then driving out again. They tend to last a lot longer that way. Of course, you know, I don't know how much good they're doing either. I think a lot of these guys, well, I can't really talk about the cooperation in that game because I don't really get involved. You know, I just kind of jump in there and try to follow people around. I don't listen to what the other people are saying. Not usually saying anything really useful as far as I can tell. I don't get on to, you know, I haven't really sat down and figured out the frequencies and all that crap. I think what they call the ambient voice. You hear people that happen to be close to you or something like that. Probably that's what's going on. And if you play like on Saturday nights, they're up there calling each other queers and shit. So it's amusing, but I don't know, it's useful. Oh God. I really should have arrowed him before he got to me. I'm not playing real well here. But, you know, I get on there every once in a while. Every once in a while I have little sequences that I think are pretty awesome, you know, like, it's really great when you got a whole bunch of light infantry that are all charging at the same time. Oh God, they're all charging at the same time, and, you know, they're chasing the enemy over, like, these little hills and shit, and you got your jump jets, and you can use those to get up to the top of a hill really fast and come down on the guy that's on the other side from above, so he doesn't even see you. You know, and if you got a whole bunch of other light infantry all around you doing the same thing, I mean, you can just overrun people like crazy.
Grab your orb.
That kind of thing doesn't really last long because I think there's a lot of people on there that, like me, they're not really cooperating. They're just kind of following the herd around. There's a lot to that game. It's interesting. It plays better since I put more memory in the computer. computer and played it on 64-bit too. 64-bit also, that helps a lot.
Attack the center
It doesn't
node.
really work very well as a 32-bit
Attack
game.
the center
Even
node.
if it'll run, it's got a 32-bit client, it'll run, but it tends to crash a lot. Because even though it's a 32-bit game, it basically wants to use all the memory you have access to as a 32-bit system, and a little more actually. Really, the only way I could ever play it on 32-bit is by using some. I can't remember what the command is, but it basically reconfigures the computer to use just a little bit more of its memory for applications than it's normally allowed to use. I didn't really like doing that because it seemed to be an invitation to all kinds of instability issues. But
Double kill.
that's what I had to do until I finally decided, well, what the fuck? I better go get some more memory and run Windows 8 on this thing or something. That was a big. Where are we at now? We got 4 minutes left.
Attack the prime node.
I have the orb.
And we've lost our prime, absolutely. And yeah, I can see the team knows what they're doing. We've got a bender up on the dock, which is exactly what needs to happen right now. This is on this map. On this map, that's always something I try to do. If I see we're getting in trouble, the first thing you want to do is get some kind of vehicle into your prime. Because where else are they going to go?
Attack the center node.
This vehicle here, the PAL, this would be the ideal vehicle to get up on that dock, but it's almost impossible to do it. This is the first time, I can't remember the last time I I don't even know how I did that. It was just, I know that's how you do it. You gotta get up on that wall, and you kind of gotta lever the wheel up the wall somehow, and you can just about manage to drive it over the bollards, but it's hard as hell to do. That's the first time I've done it in months. But yeah, you can see the other vehicle as soon as he seen me get up on this dock, he left. Yeah, he said, my job is done. The PAL will take care of it. See, the Paladin can hold his nose for a minute. The Paladin can hold his
3
nose
minutes
really
remain.
well. This is probably, this is probably the main reason to even have this Paladin. This and for defending the core the same way. It's like it's made for it. Okay, the center's down. I can drive out there now. I really hate to get off this dock. It was such a pain to get up here in the first place. But okay, yeah, I don't have to because I figured. That's the other thing with the Paladin. You get the Paladin in a defensive position like this, and the next node goes down, and you want to go forward, but the Paladin is really slow. You have to think about it. Do you really want to go forward? Oh god, yeah, that's enough of that. Do you really want to go forward right now? Because by the time you get there in this slow vehicle, who knows what might happen? You don't want to take off. You don't want to take off when the chances are that by the time you get halfway there, who's going to have that node again, and you're going to be charging into the situation with this defensive vehicle, which isn't really what you want to do. Although it can be done, but you want to have some support.
Grab your orb.
Okay, I'm gonna go back and try to run
Attack
the orb.
the center
Maybe I'll
node.
play this.
I have the orb.
I gotta cover the prime a little bit. There's fire on it. Well, there's fire. Okay, the center's down. Let me run out there real quick. I'll just go straight across. I'll just go straight around the corner here. Might actually make it. Nope, got knocked over. That's the end of that. Yeah. Generally, once you get knocked off the board with the orb, you're dead. I mean, you have to stop moving. Yeah, but it's just a matter of time. You're really lucky. You're really lucky to do that.
I have the orb.
You don't want
Attack the
to.
center node.
That's why you want to immediately get off your board and start hearing any incoming fire at all. You don't want to be there
1
because you're gonna
minute
die.
remains.
You grab the jump boots. Oh yeah, we got it. Well, that's a little bit better. Okay, well, I feel like we have a chance. Okay, here we go.
Attack the enemy prime node.
And I can see that blue has the tank node, so I'm just assuming that the blue tank is in the prime, which it probably is. Which is why I'm not
30
leaving
seconds
the
left.
center right now. I don't want to do that.
Enemy
Because running the orb to the enemy prime when the tank is in there is pretty much a pointless operation. Here I'm asking, where is the tank? And I'm being told, yeah, it's in the EP.
10.
Yeah, running the orb to the enemy prime when the tank is in there is really pointless. All you're going to do is die.
4, 3.
And not only that, you know, you're going to strand the orb over there at the enemy prime. Well, the prime is down now, but still not going to get. Well, maybe I'll get lucky here. I might get it. And I gotta, yeah. This is the other hard part. You know, even if the tank isn't there, it's kind of difficult to get through this door because they know you're coming. Yeah, I'm down to 14 points. And our prime and the center's going down anyway. I can see this isn't gonna. Oh. Gonna make a desperate dash for those health balls there, but the bender was right there for me. So.
I have the orb.
Nice try, but ultimately a waste of time anyway. It looks like somebody picked up our orb. If I keep our center, no, he's dead too. Yeah, there's all kinds of defense back in there. They're trying. Looks like they failed to shoot down the center, so that's a good thing. So we haven't lost the momentum completely yet. The orb is spawning right there. And I'm gonna pick it up again.
I have the orb.
Yes, I really hate getting out of the vehicle to pick up the orb, but somebody has to do it. And is that? Yeah, that's a tank back there, isn't it? I'll bet it is. Yeah, it sure is. I'm gonna. Oh yeah. It would have been nice if I could have hung on to that mana and got a lift up on the board, but this scorpion would have knocked me right down. So. And I'm not. Yeah.
Grab your orb.
Again, a nice attempt, but all I accomplished was to strand the orb over there. And now I'm going to go hunt the tank a little bit, which is probably a bad move because it looks like we're about ready to lose the center now. Where is that tank? He's in the prime, I'll bet you. Yes, he is. Well, let's see if I can get him down. This is the way to do it. This is the time to do it. Yeah. Well, it's always a good time to kill the tank, especially when they're trying to move into the prime. I'm just gonna manage to get him down. Yeah, he's down. Well, that was well worthwhile.
Attack the enemy prime.
But of course, the main thing is we need to hang on to this center. We're well into overtime now, and still ahead, amazingly. But you know, a match like this, evening match like this, it can easily go either way. It's just a matter of you have to make a constant effort to not screw up. If you do screw up, yeah, that's pretty much all it takes right there. You're gonna lose. Somebody, oh, shit, yeah, and there we just lost the center. That nuke came in. Yeah, okay. Right about here would be a good time to get a vehicle up into the prime, but I'm gonna run the orb instead.
I have the orb.
I guess I might have cost our team the match just because I decided I wanted to run the orb all the time. Which is probably, you know, not something that's real. This is a really hard map. I feel like this is a really hard map. I mean, you're just so exposed, and there's all these vehicles coming at you, and it's not like It's not like Floodgate. In Floodgate, you know, you kind of got all kinds of structures and shit that you can run around and pass and under and over and get some cover going on. This thing is just these big wide streets, and unless you got the jump boots, there's a few alternate routes, but you're generally especially at the end when you actually get to now I've stranded this vehicle. I can't get it off the follow. So yeah, see, I should have just went straight and got the bender or something and drove that in here straight right away instead of trying to run the orb like that. 'Cause now we're getting pressed pretty hard, and it really would have been nice to have a vehicle up on the dock right about now. The score is completely. I'm going to abandon this vehicle. It's completely stuck. I can't get it off of here. I guess I could have salvaged. I could have got out and shot rockets on it or something to try to bump it out of the way, but I don't want to fool around with it too much because I know it's just a matter of time before somebody suicides into that. I'll make another attempt to take the center back and get that pal out anyway. I think our prime's probably getting ready to go down there. Yeah, the orb's coming out. He's trying to run, but
attack the center node.
There's fire on the. Yeah, there's somebody else playing with that vehicle. Forget it. It's stuck. You're not getting it out of there. And here comes the vendor.
Attack the
Yeah, we
center
got a
node.
vendor in there trying to take. Yeah, it really would have been nice to have a vehicle up on that dock. And here comes the blue tank. That's probably what's going to finish this right there. Let me get a few rockets into him anyway if I can. Really unlikely to take him down now. Yeah, we're not getting anywhere with this.
Grab your orb.
Yeah, he's got people healing him too. Yeah, we're screwed. Prime just went down.
Attack the prime node.
I probably did just cost the team. I should have went to got a vehicle and covered the dock right there. Yeah, this is just about over now.
Grab your
That's what I
orb.
was that's what I said. You know, the close game like this, you just have to stay on your toes the whole time. You know, if you screw up at all. Well, I managed to dodge a suicide, but this thing's heavily damaged. I doubt it'll be any good whatsoever. Yeah, they're still coming after me.
Red core destroyed.
Ah, nice game though. Have
Feel the impact of that one in a minute.